cap nerfs, more header buffs, more melee characters, more cleaner maps. They don't want to add Captain China. This is what they get.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Life So Crazy. It's the Vongola Boss here. Another week, another Marvel Rivals is dying drama. There's rarely ever a dull moment in this community. If it's not controversy over a Gunnar skin, then it's the matchmaking or EOMM agents, which character needs to be buffed or nerfed, etc. And in today's video, we're talking about a report that Marvel Rivals has supposedly lost 85% of its player base since its launch.
Damn.
On PC, to be specific. So we got this post on Twitter from a couple days ago that started a heated back and forth online. And it was a simple Steam player count screenshot showing how Marvel Rivals is doing in Season 4.5. And as you can see, on any given day, it'll peak at roughly 100,000 players, a far cry from the numbers it was putting up around Season 1. So let's just get the common sense reasons out of the way real quick. Obviously, Steam charts are not the end-all be-all, it's just one platform of many. And I'd imagine that consoles, being the more accessible option, likely has similar, if not higher numbers, because Marvel Rivals at the end of the day is aimed at casuals. Let me make this clear real quick. Despite the decline, these numbers are still pretty good. The devs no doubt have their work cut out for them for not only trying to maintain but increase this player number, but other games would kill for this type of engagement. The game is nearly a year old, and every game, doesn't matter whether it's single player or multiplayer, is going to see some type of drop off in its lifetime. The numbers we're seeing here right now are just the core player base. Next, we are in October, meaning a lot of players have gone back to school. On top of that, we're heading into the holiday season where a lot of games get released, which means more competition for people's time. Case in point, Battlefield 6 just released and it's going crazy right now. Last time I checked, it peaked at like 750 players, and it looks like it might actually give Call of Duty some competition this year. But I guarantee you in 9 to 10 months time, a fraction of those players will still be there. Now, that's what I have to say in the defense of Marvel Rivals, but it doesn't change the fact that this game has been on a downward trend over time. You look at the graph here, and from the launch up until Season 2, you see a steep decline in players, but that's just no doubt casuals leaving. New hype game, you play it, have fun for a bit, and move on to the next thing. But from Season 2 onwards, you have more residual decline, but the peaks, which are when new season starts and a new character gets added, are getting lower and lower. And to be frank, I looked at the peaks for Season 4 and Season 4.5, and what I found surprised me. The weekend peak for Daredevil was weaker than Angela's, on Steam at least.
How, Sway?
I know the community is hungry for more supports and tanks. I mean, there was a whole support strike a couple months ago, and the verdict on whether or not it was actually a significant amount of players or just a vocal minority is still out, but it doesn't change the fact how the devs actually buff supports and nerf dive characters that were making their lives hell. But now that we've addressed the seasonal and natural longevity reasons for the game's decline, let's get into the meat and potatoes, starting with the elephant in the room and the most controversial: the matchmaking. Ever since the devs made that video denying they use EOMM, I have seen the community use the term less and less. But anyone who plays this game long enough will tell you that the matchmaking is basura. The more I've played this game, the more I've come to terms with, you truly are only as strong as your weakest link. And there's nothing more frustrating like queuing into a game only to realize Guang Guang cursed you with one of the weakest links. Sometimes you have games where you're just stomping the other team and everyone likes winning, so all is well in the world, right? How about those games that are mostly evenly matched except for that one goofy player? And I'm not talking about throwers. When it comes to ranked, these are the players that will genuinely have you wondering, how did they make it here? As they put on a performance that leaves you wondering, when did they start letting people who have the smoothest of monkey brains start playing video games? Then you have games where you get stomped and it's because there's an actual skill gap. The type of games that'll have you walking away thinking, yeah, there's levels to this. Or you can just cope that you're employed and you're matching up against basement dwellers. Last week, as I was trying to climb back into Grandmaster, my duo and I had 3 consecutive matches where we faced off against the one above all DPS player. And he was solo queuing, running through us like it was sport. And for the next 45 minutes, this guy proceeded to put the proverbial belt to our asses. Match after match, I'm loaded in looking at his crest thinking,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Those placement matches can't come soon enough because what is a one above all player doing in lowly diamond? I get you took a season and some change off, but bro, you're not supposed to be here taking my elo like it's lunch money. I digress. Beyond the matchmaking, let's talk the community, because what is a game if not its players? Now, not to sound like an old head who says, you wouldn't last in a Modern Warfare 2 lobby, but I feel as if people talk about the toxicity in Marvel Rivals community like it's in a league of its own, as if the foolishness you see from the worst among us in this game, a free one mind you, meaning these types have a low barrier to entry, isn't par for the course for online PvP games. Before Marvel Rivals came out, I had been retired from multiplayer games. I was a single-player veteran, might do a co-op game here and there, a far cry from my days playing NBA 2K and Call of Duty. Now, COD speaks for itself, but yes, even in a game like 2K, they were utilizing every exploit possible and calling you everything but a child of God on the mic. So while annoying players are always going to be a problem regardless of the game, if matchmaking did its job by relegating toxic players to deal amongst their own, it would definitely improve the experience, which with the over 300 hours of playtime I have in this game.
I want you to get your ass up today, go out and look for a job. The word today is job. J-O-B.
Take Quick Match, which for multiple months now has been a sweat fest, whereas the devs intended for it to be a fun, casual get-in, get-out mode. I say this as someone who used to be a quick play warrior, who only started playing ranked because I started getting into matches with Celestial and Eternity players. And I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, if I'm going to be fodder for the top 1%, I might as well go compete in ranked, which outside of Smurfs for the most part, in my experience, has been way more balanced. And I'm not alone in this because I hear plenty of other people in the community talk about how they stopped playing because Quick Match got too sweaty. At this point, the only modes I think you can pick up and have fun with solo or with a group of friends is when you're playing against the AI, arcade, or Doom matches. I see the clips all the time online of Jeffs playing tic-tac-toe or hitting the Dougie, all while chaos ensues around them, and it genuinely looks like a chill, laid-back time. Now we got to address the new character releases themselves as well as the stagnant metas, because triple support has long overstayed its welcome. And I don't know what changed, but it became more egregious in Season 4. Now this could very well be a skill issue because the problems that plague casuals, bronze, and silvers aren't the same that plague Diamond GM players or Celestial, Eternity, and One Above All. We're at the point in games where if you win a fight or so much as stagger the enemy, they instantly go triple support. And if you adjust properly or counter swap, it's not the hardest thing in the world to deal with, but it's annoying and tedious. And sure, the devs have added in some anti-heal countermeasures, but this has been the case in the game for going on like 4 or 5 months now. And I gotta be honest,
it's ridiculous. It's obvious what's being done out here. It's on a nightly basis. I hope the world can see now what's really going on out here, because it's getting ridiculous.
Then you have these new character releases that leave a lot to be desired. One half of a season gives us Phoenix, who goes on to become one of the best DPS in the game, to the point where they have to gut aspects of her kit in order to tone her down. And then the other half, you get characters like Blade, which is like, brother, what are we doing? He looks cool, but unless you're one of them ones and overall just nice at the game, well, then you're not doing much with him. Then people start going back to old reliable, the tried and proven that'll actually help them win. And outside of new skins and maybe a new event here and there, well, things are pretty much same as always. Of course, there is only so much variety in gameplay you can have in a game with 3 different main roles, with convergence, payload transfer, and domination being your main game mode. But that's just my 2 cents. We do need to give the devs props because love it or hate it, they do listen. And you can't deny that they're tapped in with the community. They may not always get it right when it comes to balance changes, but they've made it clear that they do hear and take into consideration the feedback. They're continuously adding quality of life changes. Cross progression as well as placement matches are coming next season. And some might say, well, this stuff should have already been in the game. There's definitely an argument for that, but the way I see it, they have their whole year planned out on what they want to bring into this game. But then there's some changes that you can tell they only heard of recently and no doubt pivoted in order to add it in. And now, in an effort to tone down the toxicity in comms, they're adding a voice changer setting to Marvel Rivals. And the settings are masculine, feminine, pumpkin monster, symbiote, and alien. So no doubt, this is a change that's going to help a lot of female gamers out and tone down some of the harassment from dudes who turn feral the moment they hear a woman on the game. Let me tell y'all about this wild experience I had in a game last month. We were on defense and the match was halfway done when randomly a woman's voice pops up on the comms. Mind you, at this point, no one has said anything throughout the match. Couldn't tell you what she said for the life of me. I just remember one of my other teammates came on the mic saying, "Is that a girl?"
I hope so.
The way I busted out laughing at the genuine surprise in this man's voice. No BS, the dude sounded like he found a shiny Pokemon. There was no follow-up either, no toxicity, no none of that. Bro was just genuinely in awe that he came across a woman in a video game. So when I think of a voice changing option, I immediately think back to that moment. The amount of trolling content you're going to see from this. To close out this video, I do think Marvel Rivals decline is just a case of natural progression, but that doesn't mean there isn't some red alarms going off right now. It's a fun game, it features the Marvel brand, and I hope the team over at NetEase manages to figure it out because they got something special. On that note, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment down below your thoughts on the state of Marvel Rivals. I truly want to know, are you guys still playing or did you fall off? What do you think is killing the game and could be improved? Let's have a conversation. Check out the 2 videos showing up on the screen to see more Life So Crazy. Been the Vongola Boss, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.